In January 2020, 2 years after my last visit to Seoul, I finally had the chance to visit the city once again. To pass time on this long flight, I worked on a painting on my iPad. Once I arrived at my hotel in Seoul, I was thankful to finally get to my destination and be able to just lie down. I managed to wake up early the next morning and was excited for the day ahead. Let's go. Oh my god, I'm struggling, bro. I don't know how I used to do this. I think I forgot everything. Like, I was trying to find the portable Wi-Fi place, but I think they're closed, so I'm not prepared at all. I eventually got used to navigating with my limited data, so I was fine, and I managed to work a little bit more on my painting on the subway too. I had a rough plan for this trip, and one of my itineraries was to go to Starfield COEX Mall in Gangnam. Another goal I had for this trip was to find earrings because I am obsessed with them, so I stopped by an accessory shop which I spent probably more than 2 hours at trying to decide which earrings I should get. I also went to the SM Town store and bought some merchandise from some of my favorite groups. I got to my hotel pretty early and wanted to explore a little bit more, but decided to just end the day early instead. It was about a 5-minute walk from my hotel, and I'll probably never get tired of going to Dongdaemun Design Plaza because the architecture and the way the light shines through during the day is really picturesque. Afterwards, I walked around Myeongdong since it was also nearby. I happened to walk into Artbox, which instantly became one of my favorite stores. I mostly did gift shopping there, but I found some nice stationery for myself too. Walking around some more, I was mesmerized by this earring shop, and of course, I had to stop by. Literally, the walls were top to bottom covered in earrings, so it was very tempting to try and not buy everything. My friend Haejin, who you will see later in this video, recommended I try this restaurant actually a few years ago, and finally this time I got the chance to try it. Chicken burgers are my favorite, so I very much enjoyed it. Later that evening, I stopped by Ikseon-dong village. I had never been there before, so it was refreshing to walk around and explore this quaint little area. I think the alley itself has been around for a long time, but it's especially popular lately since there are so many new cafes, restaurants, and shops nestled beside each other, each with their own little charm. It felt especially dreamy walking around at night, and I kind of felt like I was in a maze since I ended up going in circles and back in the same place a couple of times. On this day, I met with Haejin, whom I mentioned earlier. Whenever I go to Korea, we always try to meet up, so it's kind of become a tradition of ours. This time, we met in Apgujeong and had burgers, and we also went to a nearby cafe. Here, we exchanged our gifts for each other and shared some Oreo cake for dessert. We walked over to Karosukil, and the trees were actually wearing little tree sweaters. At Shinsa Station, as we were about to part ways, we happened to run into a wavy first anniversary ad. I was kind of mind blown because I was telling Haejin how I wanted to go to another station, which I thought it would be at, but I happened to be at the right one all along. I still had some free time afterwards, and I wanted to go to Pampo Bridge to see the water show, but I think it was closed for the season, so I opted to just walk around Myeongdong again. On my way back, I decided to take a different subway exit, this time at DDP just to see the night view. It's my last full day in Seoul, so honestly for the whole trip I didn't really do much. I wanted to take it easy during this trip and not have to rush everywhere, try to do a whole bunch of things. I'm still happy with my trip. I got to relax a little bit, just have time for myself, so can't wait to go to the Philippines. Okay, got everything. Thank you, room, for taking care of me. All packed. Hopefully my suitcases aren't too heavy, so let's go. Bye-bye. I didn't film what happened prior to this because I actually lost track of time and almost missed my bus, which I could have taken another one anyway since I got to the airport super early. So early that the kiosks weren't even open yet, so I just sat there and texted some family and friends and tried to regain my breath again. The flight was really short since I actually had a layover in Tokyo, which would also be my first time in Japan. Most of my time was spent being amazed by how advanced the bathrooms are at Haneda. I can't believe I'm taking a video of a bathroom, but this is look at this. And after taking a short nap, I was off to Manila.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have landed at Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The time here is now 5:50 in